Good afternoon, Tom, and thank you very much for joining me in this discussion about database migration. My name is Catherine Ottway. I've been the CM lead for managed services for over 5 years now. If you'd like to introduce yourself.
Yeah, so my name's Tom. I've been working at CJC for just over 2 years now, working as a market data administrator. It's been a fantastic 2 years so far. I've learnt a lot, and it's been great being here.
And what experience do you have with inventory databases?
I have quite a vast array. Before I even got into market data world, car dealership, I helped develop their database systems, and then I joined Calero 3 years ago, and it was fantastic being there, learning in house how
Mm.
their inventory tool works, and then of course I moved to CJC, and I've learned OS as well as other inventory tools. So it's been fantastic experience just using and also utilizing a lot of
Mm.
different inventory tools.
And why is it so important when you do this kind of project of migrating from one source to another, a database? Why is it so important to cleanse that data before you upload?
Well, I think one of the key things is duplication. I think when you just push all the data into an
Mm,
inventory tool like MDM, OS, Informatica, anything like that, if you just push all that data in, you could end up with duplicates and things getting lost in the weeds and losing track of it. And it can get quite messy quite quickly. And once it
mm.
starts to get messy, it gets quite difficult to clean up. So getting that data, cleansing it, making sure it's all correct, validating everything, and then putting it into the inventory tool, make sure that everything in there is 100% correct. You've already validated everything.
Yeah.
You know all the data going in is correct. And subsequently, when you come to report it or declare on it, you've got all the correct data and you can be 100% sure that it's all correct.
And what experience do you have since coming to CJC with that kind of work?
Yes, I've had quite a lot. I got thrown quite in the deep end when I first joined. One of our clients, I acquired quite a few businesses,
Mm,
and with that comes a lot of data, a lot of migration of systems and processes, and it was a lot of work and very challenging.
mm.
But I think once you sort of follow steps of cleansing the data, validating it, then getting it uploaded, and then confirming it in the inventory tool, it's very rewarding. But it's a good practice.
And from a high level, how would you go about migrating data in all of its formats into a clean database?
So I think a good way to start is segregating the
Mm,
data into different pools. I think so when you've got your user information taken out of the data set and just somewhere completely different in a different Excel file, for example, listing all that user profile data, and then in a separate Excel file, listing all the contract data, and just separating the data out so that you can actually read it and understand it. Because when you have a huge complex data set,
mm.
it can be very overwhelming and everything can sort of get lost. So I think separating it and just making it legible can make a huge impact on how that data is interpreted.
And obviously at CJC, we have people like you who are really good at doing that. So, yeah, if anyone's interested, we're the right people to bring in, aren't we?
Definitely, definitely.
Having done a couple of these, what are some of the pitfalls that you've found?
I think one of the ones that I think can be very, very challenging and very overwhelming is the complexity and volume that some data sets have,
Mm,
especially if it is a big acquisition that a company's made. It can be very, very difficult validating that data set, cleansing it, consolidating it. It can be very, very difficult, and it can, at the start, definitely be overwhelming because you've got, you know, tens, hundreds of thousands of lines of data that you have to try to interpret into a meaningful set of data. I think that's probably, in my opinion, one of the biggest pitfalls.
I can imagine. And you've been with CJC just over 2 years now. What have been highlights of working with us as a company?
It's been a fantastic 2 years. I've learnt a lot, both with inventory tools, but also market data in general. As you know, I've completed the FISD course, which is
Yes.
fantastic. But I think the vast array of clients that CJC has, it allows you to learn how different businesses operate. One business works completely different. They have
Mm.
different functions, different responsibility, different needs. And I think having that variety has been a very good learning curve for myself.
Well, Tom, it's been a pleasure. I enjoy working with you, and I've also enjoyed having this chat. I really appreciate your time. Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you.